What's up everybody? It's your boy, Khoi. This morning I went to the gym, did a heavy deadlift session, completely fasted. And this is the first time I've ever done this. Training without any food in my system. Just black coffee and willpower, basically. And my body didn't agree with it. You've got to try something out for yourself first before knocking it. I got this idea from Andrew Tate. He said, when you wake up in the morning, you haven't achieved anything. Back in the prehistoric era, when you wake up in the morning, first thing you do is you go hunt for food. That's why ancient people, they don't have breakfast or whatever, because they gotta hunt for food first. So we should try to live this way in order to get back to our roots, I guess. And can't say that I had a terrible session because I did hit some pretty heavy numbers for the body weight that I am now. I would consider it's a personal record. But during that whole session, I got thinking again. I do this a lot. I think when I'm training. It's like when you're alone with your thoughts, you come up with really weird shit. The thought that I came up with was, if I was to be disabled, how would my life have turned out? I've lived my whole life being an able-bodied person, and I have all these struggles already. And I wonder, if I were to be disabled, how would life treat me? How would I be able to find love? How would I be able to have a successful career or whatever? How would I be able to make friends, form connections, do stuff that I enjoy doing, like right now? How would I be able to go to the gym, lift weights? How would I be able to play guitar? If suddenly tomorrow I am to lose my arms and legs, God forbid, I'm gonna lose my physique, my strength. How am I gonna cope with this? And I know it's a different story if you were born disabled versus if you were born an able-bodied person and then you suddenly lose all of these privileges. Dating would be hell for me, I know for sure. Well, I don't know for sure, but I think it would be hell for me. I would have to make up for my lack of physical abilities with my cognitive abilities, for example. And then that got me into thinking, is there such thing as unconditional love? Like in fairy tales and in fictional books and stories. You know, like as a kid, I grew up on Disney. I grew up on, I guess, blue pill contents about unconditional love, about how anyone could find love and how there's a person out there for everybody if you can just be yourself, and if you can just have patience, and if you can just continue to do good deeds in spite of the evil around you, then you will meet the right person, that you will fall in love, and you'll be happy forever after. That's the kind of things that I grew up with. I went through a period of my life in which my mindset was completely reversed. I viewed the world in a much more negative lens. I thought people aren't really loving each other unconditionally. There's no such thing as true love, and there's always some sort of transaction going on. If I receive love from a woman, I've got to give her something, whether it be money, status, good sex. Some women actually like good sex. I don't know, fame, clout, children, making her family look better. There's this thing in our Asian community. Every time I go home, right? Every time I go back home to Vietnam, my aunties, my uncles, all of my relatives, my grandparents, they would ask me, son, do you have a girlfriend? When are you gonna get married? Why don't you go back home to Vietnam to find a wife? What are you doing with your life? Why are you single? Same thing with my sister. Whenever she goes home, she would get pestered by my aunties. Your time is running out, blah, blah, blah. You're gonna get to 30 without a husband. When are you gonna get married? Stuff like that. And all these pressure are being put on us to find a spouse, to get married. I acknowledge that it's getting harder and harder these days to find a meaningful connection. And so if I were to be disabled, how would my family treat me? That's what I'm thinking. How would I treat a girl who has disability? Would I ever fall in love with a girl with a disability? It's another thought that I had during my workout, and I've reflected on this many times before. I thought back about my childhood. I've come across many girls who were not the best looking, I'll be honest. I would have never approached them, or they might have some sort of a disability. They might be in a wheelchair, they might have some sort of facial deformation. And I've met many clients during my line of work at the hospital, people around my age actually, who got into serious accidents, or they have terrible medical conditions that made them disabled in some way. And this is really hard for me because I've put so much value on people's looks and how they would benefit me if I were to get in a relationship with them. I've thought about this, by the way. I know it's not professional for me to be saying these things, but I've thought about it and I'm just saying how it is. I'm being real to you guys. I am deeply troubled and I don't know what to think. Sometimes I feel like it's very hard for me to get into a relationship with someone with a disability. And so based on this view that I have about disabled people, I deducted that they would view me the same if I were to have a disability. Recently, I got back into Christianity again, and it is a wonderful religion. Religions in general are wonderful. Without religions, the people with disabilities in this world will get left behind. And I don't think that this should be the case. Everyone were put on this earth for a very specific purpose, and you might not find disabled people provide any value in terms of being attractive, in terms of their physical abilities, but they have a lot to offer to the world as well. I've known many disabled people who were very smart, very funny, very charismatic. What they lack in physical ability, they make up in other aspects of life. And the more I get into religion, the more I start to change my view on disability. I'm gonna be honest, my first pick would not be disabled people. I would not go for disabled people. I would not date a girl with a disability. I'm just being honest to you guys at this point in my life. It's nothing about being ableist or discriminating against disabled people. It's just my preference. It's whom I am attracted to. I'm not saying they're bad or they will never find love or they don't deserve love, because they do. Everyone deserves love, including yourself, including myself. What I'm saying is that disabled people are not my preference, but I'm not ruling out the possibility that one day I might date a disabled person. I might get into a lifelong relationship with a disabled person, or that my child or my children will have disabilities and I will continue to love them no matter what. I'm saying this now, but I know that this might change in the future. I don't know, man. It's hard. What do you guys think? I think disabled people deserve love, just like any of us. And I'm not gonna stop loving someone if it becomes an inconvenience for me. If it's true love, which I believe in, I'm not gonna abandon somebody because they have a disability. But anyways, I'll show you the video of me working out this morning. Stay strong, friends, and God bless. All glory be to God. I found my new love for God, and I want to share it with you guys. Alright guys, have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.